in the real world, or you build something that makes sense in the game. Anyway, so the water will go there, and I guess I'll come back when the water is in. That looks kind of interesting already. But yeah, structural issues with the circle. Okay, I've built what I said I was going to build, and a little bit more, and I think I've got it how I want it. Or rather, I think I rather like what it is now, so I'm gonna keep that stuff at the front. Well, I mean, it's all still open to revision, given that it's still dirt and everything else, but here's what I have so far. There's that, and then I've moved the circle closer, and the dark area is full of these columns and these things up top. And then we move into here and it's open. And imagine if the glass is not there, it's open to the sky. So, you know, back just a few minutes ago in the video, but back a few hours ago in the game, before I built all this, so going back to the contrast here, we come in, we have the square and this thing, which, you know, some of you in the comments have been saying that, you know, it doesn't look calm, it looks gothic, and it is gothic, and it looks, you know, very, I guess in a way it's intimidating. Some of you, well, one of you have talked about in Half-Life 2, the Combine War, which was, you know, meant to be intimidating and destructive. And yep, so we've got that, and here again it's dark and it's crowded. So we walk back here, we can see what it's like. Yeah, and everything's very close together, and there's not a lot of room to move around. And then that contrasts greatly with, through the water here, this open space, which is light. It's light, it's open, and everything else. So yeah, working with contrast in the dark and the light, working with contrast in the openness in the center space and the crowdedness in the outside space. And yeah, this just becomes, you know, corridor space. It's the dark space is not meant to be usable at all, in the sense that, you know, it's not a room, it's just a lot of stuff in there. And so then we shift the focus into the central area, which was the main, you know, intention in the first place. This was intended to be the main area. Oh, one more thing. I was thinking whether I want the circle to be, or the cylinder to be lowered down as well, whether I want to extend further. I think it's okay like that. I mean, I can always test it and see what the difference would be like if I extended it one block down. But that's a fairly minor issue. Anyway, so this is the concept for now, and I think I'll post this video, and again, interested in feedback. And I know I'm not really taking your advice. I mean, I'm reading the comments and I'm considering it and I'm taking it in, but I mean, everyone gives different advice anyway, and so some people say this and some people say the opposite. And so, I mean, it's not like I'm ignoring you guys or anything like that. No, I'm considering it and I'm choosing the option that I think is you know, it's the best for me, or I think it's, or I like the best. And that's the way with design sometimes. I mean, when you start off with a blank slate, I mean, there's infinite ways of drawing stuff onto that blank slate. And ultimately, design is about eliminating the ones that you don't really want and keeping the one potential that you want. And so, and I said this earlier in earlier videos where I said, you know, I'm going to ask for comments and suggestions and advice, but it's not possible for me to follow all of them. You know, in the end I can only build one thing, and that's the thing that I want, because ultimately it's my, you know, design. But it doesn't mean that I don't appreciate all the advice or all the suggestions that you've given. It's given me a lot to think about and a lot to consider, and it's important to consider alternatives and all that. Actually, while I talk, I might as well try this out. So I definitely appreciate, you know, all the comments that you've left and all the suggestions that you've given me. So don't take it negatively if I haven't actually built what you suggested I should build. You know, that's just how it is. And it's the same. I mean, if you're designing your thing, and then you go to 100 or several hundred different people, to all your viewers, if you make vids, and you ask them, hey, what do you think I should build? I mean, you'll get dozens, if not hundreds, of different ideas, and you can't build them all. You know, it's just, that's just the reality of it. And it's not to say that your idea isn't good, you know. I've chosen this, but maybe if you or someone else takes your idea and builds something else, maybe they can make that good as well. I mean, there's no one thing that is good and everything else is bad. You can always do different things that are, you know, just as good, or they're interesting in different ways, or, you know, or they work in different situations. So there's no right or wrong, although there is better or worse, you know? I don't actually know if that makes a lot of sense. You know, when you're designing, there's no fixed right or wrong, but nevertheless some designs are better than others, which makes it a very complicated thing to be doing. You know, it's not a... You don't really know whether you have the right answer, or whether there's even a right answer at all. It's just better answers and worse answers. Alright, so I've extended the ring down by 1 and it's lagging fairly badly. So let's see what that looks like. It's barely noticeable from here, although, you know, you would assume that you would see it, but you don't really. And then when you get to here, I think the circle is a little bit more prominent now that it's a little lower down. Like, you see more of it. I mean, usually you look straight forward, and so if you look at the screen here, I guess the circle takes up maybe 1/3 of the screen, so you know, you see more of it and it's more noticeable. And also when you have a shape up there, you know, you want to invite people to look up, so you need to kind of put it into their view, the field of vision, so that, you know, they see enough of it to make them interested in looking up. And I guess if you do, then you'll see more, because, you know, like this, you don't see those beams up there at all when you're just walking around looking forward like this. So you really do need something to suggest to you that you might want to look up, and then, whoa, you know, there's other things. Oh, look at that. And then from here, yeah, I mean, imagine like this view here. If the dirt block was 1 higher, you wouldn't even see the dirt block. You see how little of it you see on the screen there. So yeah, I do think it needs to be lower down like that, just so there's enough of it to make you realize there's something up there. Yep, I think that's a bit better. 1 block down. Okay, I guess I'll post the video. Let's see what comments you guys have, and oh, question. What to do here? I think I asked this earlier, or some people have kind of given me a few suggestions already, but now that we've built the other stuff, and I mean, you can make suggestions about the other stuff too if you want to. Everything's negotiable, but mostly next thing I'm thinking about is what to do here. Keeping in mind, at the moment there are no torches or other light sources here, and so you need to exclude monsters from spawning somehow. Either putting lights in, or using the half blocks, or using water or glass or something that will not allow monsters to spawn when it's dark and it's nighttime. and I don't want it too crowded. I guess I can just have it an open circle, but maybe, or just a little thing in the middle. Not sure. And maybe it's not all that important. And there's this stuff as well. If you want to comment on this, I mean, I deliberately put stuff up there so that it's darker down here and it's less open. And I've said this already. I think I don't want to repeat myself too much. But you know, it's to make it look more crowded and then more. I don't know if I should use the word oppressive. I mean, it's not really oppressive, but it's less open. Let's just say that. And we can come up here as well. So if you're the sort of person who enjoys exploring and going to places that you're not supposed to go to, then you can come up here and look around. I don't know if you can jump up there somehow. I don't know how many of you are parkour masters. Oops. If you can jump from there up to there, I don't think it's possible. No, it's not. It's like 2 blocks high. You know, that's not possible. Maybe I should put in something here that will allow you to jump up there as well. Just for any parkour masters out there who wants to play around up here. Let's see. Oops. Oh, I need to cover this up as well, because if you ever fall down here, there's no way back out. So I'll probably put some glass at the top of the wall there, so if you're parkouring and you fall in, then you don't just get trapped. Oh, and what to do with these spaces? That's not a good one, because I intend to do the buttresses as well. Yeah, but what to do out here? I was just thinking fairly simple pools of water. And obviously here you'll have the pathway going in, that's above the water. But here, there's more space and an opportunity to do stuff here. But what exactly? That's the question. Alright, I'm gonna stop rambling and oh look, it's nighttime. So it's a bit darker now. And we can also see it from here. And also we're on bright instead of moody, so whoa, that's dark. Wow, you can't see a thing. And maybe that's a problem. Not out here, I mean this is meant to be dark and all that, but even in here it's fairly dark. Maybe that's a problem. Huh. I guess you'll see the stars if you're... Well, once we get rid of the glass in the water, here you'll see the stars. Alright. Alright, thanks for watching, and comments are welcome. Although, don't feel like I'm being mean to you if I'm not actually building what you think I should be building. I'm sorry about that.